version 1.5 for Honkai Star Rail is just around the corner, but as per usual, we already have information regarding the version directly after that for 1.6. And I feel like I'm personally going to be more invested in that version as to the one that's about to come up. Even though version 1.5 is going to bring some amazing characters, I think my personal favorite, just based on how everybody looks, is Xueyi, which is like the newest Abundance character. She's super cute, and Abundance is a really nice path to make sure that you have on any team composition that is going to be in need of heals. So I can't wait to see how she's actually going to be in Honkai Star Rail. But version 1.6 honestly just has some really amazing characters that I am really looking forward to, just based off of their path, their aesthetics, or even their elemental type. Let's start with the first 5-star that we know about, which is going to be Ruan Mei. Now, take any information that I say about skills or anything in this video with a grain of salt. There's still time before we get a lot more information with the characters, but from what we do know, it seems like she's going to be a very solid ice type harmony character, which will increase your ally's speed with her skill, which is going to be really cool. Obviously, speed is very important in Honkai Star Rail. The faster you are, the better you're going to be doing, and it's also important to have a support character that can increase your speed. That's why so many amazing ones tend to have messenger traversing hacker space, so it'll be interesting to see if she actually scales with that and if you'll want to build that on her, similar to someone like Bronya. And then it seems like the rest of her kit surrounds boosting up your allies' damage, but most notably what I think is really cool is that her ult is going to have something to do with the weakness break efficiency, and it's going to boost all your allies' weakness break efficiency, which of course is going to help with doing damage, and that's just really amazing. We don't have a lot of that in the game except for like something like Simulated Universe, which is really cool. So I think she's going to be a very solid ice harmony character. She's obviously the first ice one for that path. It seems like we're getting into the point with Star Rail now where they're trying to fill in the paths for each elemental type, and I'm not so sure if I want to summon for her yet or the next 5-star. Either one I would honestly be happy with getting, so if I lost my 50-50 on one, maybe I could pull the other and I would be just as happy with that. Which brings us to the second 5-star that we know about, which is Dr. Ratio. Now there's less information about this character to my knowledge than the other two characters that we're talking about in this video for version 1.6, and this guy looks really cool. He's an imaginary damage typing just like Dan Hong and Vibrator Lune, but he is from the Hunt Path, our first ever Hunt Path character for the imaginary damage, and our third ever 5-star Hunt character, which is actually surprising considering we just got Topaz and Numbi in version 1.4. But I think that this character is probably going to be more likely to do damage like Seela, whereas Topaz and Numbi are really solid at doing damage, but they kind of focus on their follow-up with like the Path of Elation being really strong on them. I don't think Dr. Ratio is going to be like that, but if it is a Hunt type character, then I'm most likely going to try to pull for him because I really love that path. Seela was my first ever Hunt character, and she's really solid, carried me through so much of the game. Topaz and Numbi, even though I didn't end up pulling her, I definitely did want her because she's a solid character, and the Hunt path is probably one of my, if not favorite paths in the game, because it focuses on single target big damage, which has always been something that I enjoy seeing in games. But we'll just have to see what Dr. Ratio has in store for us later on. Another imaginary damage character is always a +2 because I feel like that's one of the most interesting typings in the game. That's why I was so happy to get in Vibrator Lune. But let's move on to the 4-star, and 4-stars are really strong too, as we've seen that 4-stars in this game, just like Genshin, can be really amazing as well. And this one is a character that we've already seen in the game as well, and it's Xueyi, which is Hanya's sister, which she is one of the characters that we're getting in version 1.5. So Xueyi is her younger sister, and she's going to be a quantum typing, which is probably like my second favorite one in the game, if not over imaginary. And since she's a 4-star, you're very likely to get her, and at E6 as well, which is why I am looking forward to pulling for her. From everything we do know about her so far, it does seem like her skill and her ultimate are both going to have something to do with weakness break, so maybe we're going to have to end up building a weakness break build on her with the actual set that's already present in the game, or maybe there will be a brand new one that suits her by that time, or you might just be able to go with a break effect build with the quantum damage set and then just putting break effect on your planar ornament. I think it's really cool that they're focusing more on that because weakness break and weakness break efficiency are very important in Honkai Star Rail for making sure that you're able to do a lot of damage and making the opponents not have their turns so quickly. So having two characters in version 1.6 that have something to do with weakness break is really nice, and this is a 4-star that I'm actually very excited for, even more so than the one that we're getting in version 1.5. But I'm sure her sister Hanya in version 1.5 will also be very solid. So maybe if you have both of them, it would be nice to throw them on the same team comp. We'll have to see if they have synergy together. But I think I'm more interested in Xueyi, and I can't wait to summon for her, seeing as I was able to build my Guinefin so well. I am more than happy to invest in a new 4-star character. I feel like talking about future versions in Honkai Star Rail is important because even though you don't want to get ahead of yourself and you want to wait till all the information's out there, planning ahead can be very important in these type of games because your resources are so limited and you need to pre-farm and know what's going on. Especially if you're a free-to-play player like me, you need to know in advance what characters do what and if they're ones that you want to save up for to make sure that your pity is in place or your resources are in place to pull them. And I think I'm going to be summoning for the newer characters in version 1.6 as opposed to 1.5 since we are having rerun banners as of now with Sela. So Silver Wolf should be up next in version 1.5, and I think that's the character that I'm going to be focusing on, which would leave version 1.6 to be more catered toward the new banners when it comes to what I want to summon for. But let me know which characters you guys are looking forward to, whether it be in version 1.5 or all the way in version 1.6. I know a lot of people are going to be a fan of Dr. Ratio just based off of meme culture alone, but I'm still interested in hearing what you guys think about these characters. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.